Hi there. Oh, again, just like last week. All right, sorry about that. Every week my audio interface is messing up the start of the stream. But apologies, the reason I'm 2 minutes late today is that my whole computer crashed today, which is never happening with the Mac. It got me a bit nervous now. The Mac M1 Max I think I have on my laptop is usually so good, but I restarted the computer. I tried to open the streaming software and Google Chrome and reset Google Chrome's browser and open the audio interface all at once. And it didn't like that at all. It froze up completely. I had to do a hard reset, which was not fun. So hopefully everything is okay now. I'm just checking everything over. Yeah, it looks like we're good now. All right, so welcome. Today is Monday, July 3rd. Can you believe it's July already? I've got a lot to talk about to you today. We've got some news to talk about. We've got a recap from last week's stream about the Martin Owners Club. I have a new guitar day. See if you can guess what it is. And also some really I'm kind of angry today. I got some really sad news about gear to share with you. And I was gonna make it its own video, and I still might do that because I figure people who watch that video won't watch this video. But I'm going to share that news today as well because it's really I'm really sad about what's happened today. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but I'll fill you in. So let's start by saying hi to everyone. And as always, let me know if you have any questions. Put your question in the chat, and I will try to answer it the best I can. If you want a definite answer straight away, send me a super chat. So the first here was T. How you doing, T? Hey, BB. Oh, yes. Bedoin Buddha. Hi, Aaron from NOLA. Have a good time today. You too, my friend. And David's here. Been a while, my friend. How you doing? Did you see the unboxing of the Martin Owners Club last week? We're going to talk about that today a little bit. Dr. McFarland is here. He says, what's that guitar behind you? Very cool. Let's see if anyone can guess what it is. You've got to guess the manufacturer and the model, and then I'll talk about it. I want manufacturer and the model. That'll be the winner. Not the winner of the guitar, just the winner of getting me to talk about the guitar. Captain B, how you doing? Good to see you. And Rosanna's here. Rosanna has the spanner. That means she's moderating. If there's any trolls, she will eject the trolls from the chat. So thanks as always, Rosanna. Good evening, Aaron, and everyone here. The Bay, the Bay. You're the Bay? That's good. I was wondering who the Bay was. Happy Monday. I don't know what you're talking about. So, let's get started. Let's start with a recap of last week's show. So last week I unboxed the Martin Owners Club membership welcome pack. And I want to let you know what happened because it was a bit anticlimactic. I had some things in there that I didn't expect and some things that I expected that weren't there. So if you want to see that, you can go back and watch last week's video. But basically, I was expecting the cap and the t-shirts. And I think in the past I've had a set of strings, Martin strings, which makes sense, right? That you get Martin strings, a cap and a t-shirt to show you're in the club. And I used to have a mouse pad. I just threw it away because I've now got a larger desk pad, so I don't need a mouse pad anymore because my mouse was always slipping off it. So now I just have a huge pad on the desk, which is much better for me. But it got me thinking, all those things I used to have, as the membership club, and I didn't get any of that. I got the picnic blanket and the other things that I mentioned last week. I didn't get the things that I wanted, and I felt like the website implied I would be getting a t-shirt and a hat. So I did email the owners club, and they said that when you renew, you get the special gift, which is the picnic rug, and when you're a new member, you get a t-shirt and a hat. So I've always had a t-shirt and a hat every year, so I guess they've changed it. So I don't really like it. They email me the thing where it says give us a review. I still might do, but I'd be too negative. But personally, I was on the fence about it anyway, because $55. If, as I said last week, if I'm going to buy things from the Martin store, like new saddles and certain accessories, it's kind of worth it for the discount. When I used to get a t-shirt and a hat and strings, which would offset a lot of that cost, but to not get the t-shirt, not get the hat, not get the strings, not get the mouse pad, the things I really wanted, makes it less attractive to me. So I am I'm a bit disappointed in that. But anyway, there we go. So probably won't do it again next year, but we'll see. We'll wait and see next year what they do next year. And I mean, I don't know what's happening with the Martin Owners Club, because you can't even join it if you're outside of America, which is kind of weird, right? Kind of a weird thing. So anyway, that's the update on that. And then the news is, oh, hang on, I think David got it. Let me see if he got it right. Yes, okay. Okay. Very good, my friend. Very good. Let me give you a... Oh, wait. I hear that hum. That's my amplifier. There we go. That was the quad cortex. I have to mute it every time. Sorry for that. So, I'm not sorry for the AC being on, by the way, because it's really hot here. So I'm running it anyway. I don't think you can hear it. David Belcher got it correctly, so I'll give him one of these. I want to give him a DJ horn for getting it right. Here you go, buddy. Very good. That is, in fact, the TL2ECBLBLHSS. So what is that exactly? I'll tell you in a minute. But first of all, let's get the news out of the way. The sad news is that I don't know why I'm so... Well, I do know why I'm so sad about this. TC Helicon have finally closed down completely. I'm really sad about... I'm really angry. It's crazy. It's so crazy how much this has affected me. And here's the reason, and it's a very important reason. So I love gear. I guess you love music gear. That's why you're watching my channel, right? Why you're watching the live stream. If you didn't care about music gear, you wouldn't watch the live stream or the videos. So I've often said lately that I want to focus more on stuff that I actually use, because I'm sorry to repeat myself, but I don't feel comfortable being the kind of channel that's just going to come on here and say, well, so-and-so sent me this to show to you, and you should buy one and use my link, and you don't really need it, and you buy something and you don't need it. I'm not interested in that, really. I do like checking stuff out. I do like talking about the equipment. And I do like buying certain things that are outside of the spectrum occasionally, like I have with the guitar behind me. Right? It's a very unique guitar that is not maybe on the radar of most people, but maybe it will be when I show it to you. And you know, that's fine. If that's what you want, then you would buy one, right? I'm not making you do that. But I don't want to be on here every day trying to sell something. Okay, so I know I contradict myself a bit. I do make the demos. I do still have stuff here that I'm going to be making demos of soon so I can sell it on. But that's not really the kind of channel I want to be. So I've been saying for a while, yes, I will soon be making more content about the TC Helicon pedals. And the reason that I make the TC Helicon pedal videos is because I've used that piece of gear. That is what I have used. So 2010, moved to America, just plugged in and played my little Maton guitar. No pedals. No pedals at all. Then I got a TC pedal, and I didn't really understand it, and I think most people went through this originally as well. There weren't many videos about the products. People didn't really understand what they were, how they worked, and they just seemed overly complicated. Not everyone, but some people, and even now I hear that from people. So I got the white TC Helicon pedal, and I sold it, and I just didn't want to get into it. And then I got the Play Acoustic. And that Play Acoustic, I remember initially I was afraid of using the harmonies. I was afraid of looping. I'd never looped before, really. I hadn't really used the harmonies before. I felt so self-conscious about it. And each week I would start doing it on like harmonies on one song, harmonies on two songs, looping on a song, looping on another song. And before long, I was using the harmonies and the looper and the effects in every song, at every gig. Maybe initially too much, which you shouldn't do with effects either, by the way. But the point is, long story short, I came to rely on that pedal because it was acting as my mixer, my guitar effects, my vocal effects, my tuner, my looper, and that little, I mean, at the time it was like $250. That little $250 pedal was the heart and soul of my rig. And that kind of got me into this whole thing of doing the channel and looking at other pedals and looking at electric guitar pedals and looking at acoustic guitar pickups. But the point is that pedal, I mean, it's no lie, like that pedal really paid the bills for me. Because when you have a looper with you, it enables you to not sing for 3 hours straight. It enables you to take solos. Practice your soloing. Practice your timing. Give your voice a break because you're looping every song a solo. You're not singing constantly. I found when I didn't have the pedal with me, I would be over singing because I wouldn't be able to take a solo or just lay off the playing. I'd be much more physically tired in my voice and my hands without that pedal. And that pedal is so small. Let me just bring it up on the screen so you know what we're talking about. The Play Acoustic was so small that it would fit in the bag in a guitar case. And obviously I always talk about I need to travel light. And there really isn't a way of having such a small pedal as this. You see, it's tiny. It's tiny, it's light, it's affordable. $299 for what it does is an absolute steal. It's unique. It does things that other devices don't even do. It does the things well. And as you can see, oh, my goodness me, it's in stock. I'm going to give you a tip right now. If you are in America and you sing and play acoustic guitar and you're even considering doing solo gigs, buy this right now. And if you don't mind, use my affiliate link. I'd appreciate it. In fact, I'm going to put that in the chat. But honestly, I'm not kidding. And even if you think you might start doing, I'm deadly serious here. Even if you think that you might start doing gigs, let me just switch back here so I can get my notes up. Even if you think you might start doing gigs at some point, or you've got a friend who might start doing them, just get that pedal. I'm going to give you my affiliate link in the chat, and I'm not doing it to try to make money. Just if you are going to get it, then use my link. But and also, if you've got friends that may be thinking about doing solo acoustic shows in the future, and again, if you live in America, send them this product and tell them to get one. And the reason is that TC Helicon have now finally been shut down. And it's a long story about the sort of, the demise of the company. It's a very sad and angry one, which I probably won't dwell on too much today. But this is the product here. There we go. So click that link, check out the pedal. They were sold out. They've suddenly got some from somewhere. It says in stock. And actually, you know what I'm going to do now? I use the flagship product at my gigs, which is the Voice Live 3 Extreme, because it has even more cool features that I really rely on now. And this is how important this is to me. I'm just going to quickly check that that's also sold out, because if they've suddenly magicked some up from somewhere, I'm going to buy one right now on the stream. I'm not going to show you my credit card, but I'm going to buy one right now on the stream. Let me just check here. No, it still says back ordered. So this is the one that I've sort of shifted to now. This is the Voice Live 3 Extreme. Yes, it's more money, but it's incredible. It has long looping. It has twice as many loops, actually 2.5 times the loops. It records the gig. It has MIDI. It has more foot switches. It will even do things like if you record a loop and sing over it, and you're not playing, but the loop is playing, if you hit the harmony button, it will add the harmonies. So yes, it's more money. Yes, it's slightly more complicated. Yes, it's a bigger pedal. And yes, it's currently back-ordered everywhere. If you find any of these in any stores, please let me know, because I'm looking to get some backups. This is how important this is to what I do. I'm looking for backups of this pedal. And like I said, the Play Acoustic is what many people prefer because it's more affordable, because it's smaller, because it's simpler. There's some things that I do prefer about the Play Acoustic. They are in stock at Sweetwater, and this is I'm going to stop talking about it in a minute. But if TC Helicon truly have dissolved completely, which seems to be the case from what I've heard today, And like I said, the chances are they're going to stop making the products, right? It just seems to make sense. I haven't got confirmation of that yet. But like I said, if you're interested at all in watching this stream because you play solo acoustic shows like I do, which I know a lot of people do watch the show for that reason, you have to buy the Play Acoustic while they have them. There's no other pedal on the market like the TC Helicon Play Acoustic. There's nothing. And I've got a few friends that use them as part of their full-time gigging, and I know they're going to be on there tonight ordering those pedals as backups in case they start making them. So I won't say it again. If you are interested in doing that kind of solo gig thing acoustically, you live in America, and you don't own one of those pedals, I highly advise you just order that pedal right there while they're in stock. And I'll stop talking about that. But yes, basically, TC were bought by Behringer. They put TC Helicon with TC Electronic into Music Tribe with some other brands. There's been no updates from them at all. Very few releases over the last kind of 5 years. And it looked like they were going to not release anything else, but at least they had an office in Canada. At least they were still there, even though they weren't really doing any releases or any updates or anything. And they have been still building these pedals, but then with the pandemic and then shortage of parts and then the company shutting down, I can only assume that these pedals might sadly go away. And yeah, I'm going to get at least 2 more of the Voice Live 3s because there's nothing else that does what that does, and I'm using it 5 nights a week. Last week I played 1, 2, 3. I played 6 shows last week, and I used that pedal. And I mean, I don't use it for everything. If I do like a half an hour set and it's just a small gig and I'm using the S1 Pro Plus and to go on wireless, I won't use it for that. But everything else, so when I'm doing a 3-hour gig, a restaurant, a party, a wedding, anything like that, I rely on that pedal. So I'm really sad this happened, and I might make a video about it. I want to get to your questions and talk about other stuff and the new guitar. But I might make a video about this and just rant about this because no one is making products for people like me, people that do the solo acoustic gigs. No one is making those products. Very few companies, and they're not doing it as well as TC Helicon in my experience, in my opinion. And now TC Helicon are not going to make them. Oh, I don't know. They might still make them, but it's not looking good if the company has been dissolved. So I'm really sad. Really sad this happened. Happy they've got some Play Acoustics, and like I said, you should get one. All right, let's talk about some other stuff. Rosanna said I meant Happy Monday. No problem. I was just being silly. I knew you. There was a typo. David says, okay, I looked it up. That's a long model name. The TL2EC-BLBLHSS. That looks like something I would be interested in. Look forward to your thoughts on it. We'll talk about. I just want to see if anyone's got any questions for me, because I've been diverting people now from social media to this chat with their questions. I'm now just telling everyone on social media that messages me, unless it's a one-word answer, to come here on a Monday and share the question with the community and the chat so we can all benefit from it. And so I'm not answering questions privately all through the week. I think that's fair enough. So let's make sure no one's got any questions or topics they want to talk about. And then if there's nothing, I will run you through what that guitar is behind me. Yeah, David, I thought the same. Yep, 4th of July is tomorrow, Independence Day. Ah, Rosanna is indeed drinking. Okay, fair enough. That's the reason. All right, I'll give you a run through the guitar then. I was going to do a live demo and review, but I decided not to because there's too many things that can go wrong. So look out for, if you're new here, subscribe and ring the bell, and look out for, in fact, let me turn that on here. Look out for an actual video about that guitar, because I want to go into some detail about this guitar. I'll give you an overview of it now, what it is and why it's cool and why I wanted it, and then you can ask me any questions, and then, like I said, I'll actually do a proper video because I wanna set it up with the different amplifiers and record it and compare it to other guitars and go really in detail about this thing because it's very unique and it's very cool. I have been playing it. It is the real deal. It's a great guitar, and it's not going to be for everybody. So let's go through what it is and why you might be interested. So I'm going to take you over to the website. So this is it. I've featured this on the channel before. This is the Cole Clark True Hybrid. So to give you some background about how and why they made this guitar, basically this is a Blackwood guitar, meaning Australian Blackwood back and sides and Australian Blackwood top. This is the wood they recommend for their stage guitars because it's the stiffest wood. So if you like to drum and be percussive on your guitar, it won't break as easily as other softer woods or ding as easily as other softer woods will. So that's what they've done. They've used that again. And then before this one was introduced to the market, they introduced the thin line guitars. These are just thinner acoustics, still with a sound hole on those. A thinner acoustic that's more comfortable to play and may feedback less because it's a thinner body. So that was the thin line guitar, again made from Blackwood. So what this is that body shape. This is a thin line, but they've removed the sound hole and they've given you the small sound hole at the top there on the upper bout that you can see. So this isn't a guitar that's going to shine acoustically because there's no sound hole. It's a thin body. It's their stiffest wood, and it's got the added weight of the magnetic electric guitar pickups on the top, which are going to weigh down the top. But the whole point with this guitar is it's not supposed to be like a busking guitar acoustically. This is a stage guitar, which is a hybrid of an acoustic and an electric. So what you get here is you still get the regular Cole Clark three-way pickup system, the newest version. That's on the top, and that has its regular output jack from the battery compartment. And that sounds great. That sounds like the other ones do. It's one of my favorite pickup systems of all time. You also get the electric pickups as well, and there's 3 of them. You can have SSS, HH, or HSS. So the humbucker single, or 2 humbuckers. The one I went for is the humbucker single, and that's what I tend to use when I play in a band. That's just the configuration that I like. I like SSS on a Strat. It's more conventional, more classic. But the HSS is very versatile. You've got that humbucker at the back there for doing the heavier tones. Now, I have tried a Cole Clark with a humbucker when they first announced those a few years ago. And I returned it at the time. And the reason was that they put the humbucker in the bridge of the guitar, but it of course uses acoustic strings, and acoustic strings with a regular humbucker will have a lower output on the high strings, the B and the E. Oh no, sorry, the B and the E will be louder than the other strings because they're plain and the other ones are wound. So what they've done at Cole Clark is they've figured out how to make their own pickups and wind them to the specific tolerances, so the strings are evenly balanced. So you have acoustic guitar strings, which is what you want for the acoustic sounds, but they're balanced for the electronics, for the electric sounds. And the electric sounds have their own output. It's not emulated, there's nothing digital, it's just a straight output that you'll plug into your digital modeler or your amplifier. So, like I said, it's not for everyone because there's some more complication here. You can just use it as an acoustic and run it straight into the PA. But if you really want to get everything out of this, you're going to run it into the PA and also run out of the electric side into the digital modeler or your pedal board for an electric guitar. So there's more stuff to take to the show. But that's nice because there's no treatment or processing on the electric pickups. It means that you can then run them through whatever you want to without having any processing already applied. So this is awesome, and they've solved that problem. I've already done some comparison recordings with an actual Stratocaster guitar, and they sound really, really similar, which isn't my experience with this kind of stuff. Usually it doesn't sound like an electric guitar, but they sound really close in my opinion. The Cole Clark sounds a little bit like there's a bit more body, a bit of a fuller sound than the Strat, but you wouldn't be able to tell. If I played them back to back, you wouldn't be able to tell. So Is this going to replace your Strat and your Cole Clark stage guitar? It might replace your Cole Clark if you don't want to worry about the acoustic sound, because you've still got that same awesome Cole Clark tone. I do find the larger body Cole Clarks sound a little bit better than the smaller bodies, but that's a subjective thing. It does sound really close to an electric guitar, but of course you've got acoustic strings on there. Now they tell me these are 10 gauge strings, so the strings on my Strat are also 10 gauge. Of course, the G string is wound, so that's harder to bend than on an electric guitar. But it gets really close. It's very impressive. And then you can also split the humbucker to be single, and you have the 5-way switch. So think about the possibilities here. You have a 3-way acoustic pickup, which uses a microphone, a body sensor, and an undersaddle pickup. And you can blend that into any combination that you want. You then have 3 electric guitar pickups, the humbucker being splittable with a push-pull pot, and the 5-way switch. So how many combinations of pickups is that? And an amazing thing that I would like to do is to run the acoustic through the PA and then run the electric sounds, maybe like 2 different amps, panned hard left and right. So you just get this huge guitar sound through the PA system. So this is a very forward-thinking thing. It's very cool. Many people have tried to make hybrid guitars and haven't, so some of them have had some popularity. I would say that the closest thing to this lately has been something like the Fender Acoustasonic. They took a different approach. They used modeling. They went for a thinner design. The concept is close, but that's a different kind of instrument, I would say. I still have my Acoustasonic. I may compare them because they are kind of going for a similar thing. But I just love what they're doing here. I love that they're doing something new. That's what I love the most. All we get now is another guitar amp simulation pedal, another Martin guitar with a different color top, another Taylor with a different wood, a different finish. Cole Clark are actually tweaking and improving the pickup all the time, tweaking the guitar design all the time, releasing new guitar designs into the market. And they should be praised for that. The biggest problem right now is it's hard to find them when you're in America to buy them. That's the worst thing. I wish they would get some sort of sales through Sweetwater or something like that, so I can promote them through there and we can actually see the photographs, because all the guitars are so unique looking. So I wish they could do that, but I'm sure they will come eventually once they catch up with the production and everything. But yeah, I just love it. I love they're doing something unique and interesting, and at the end of the day, they sound so good and they're great to play. Yeah, so let me know if you've got any questions. Let me know what you'd like me to include in the review. Obviously, in the review, I'm going to demo the acoustic pickup with some different mixes of the pickups. I'm going to play through the electric sounds, and I'm going to compare the electric sounds to an actual electric guitar as well, just to show how close it can get, how convincing it sounds. And I'll also show some blends and different things as well, like the acoustic with the electric blended together to get that big unique guitar sound. So let me know if there's anything specifically I should put in that video. And let me know if this is the kind of thing that interests you, because this is obviously, again, not for everyone. This is not what we normally talk about. Normally talk about straight up acoustics and pickups and things. This is a very forward-thinking design, a very unique design. But I'm just ready for something like this. I want some new things. I'm tired of the same old products being released all the time. So let's go back to the chat and let me know what you think. Michael, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. T says the TC Helicon Play Acoustic is for sale in Thomann as well. Okay, great. So if you're in Europe or England, again, I don't know. I'm just concerned that once these sell out, they won't make any more. And I can't see them making them long term if TC are shut down. They may do. I may be wrong. But even if I'm wrong, it wouldn't hurt to have one in the box in the closet. And I'm pretty sure you'll be able to resell it. I'm not saying buy them to resell them. My point is, if you do buy one today and you can't, you don't use it for a year, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get your money back at least in a year's time. I'm not, yeah, please don't scalp TC pedals, but I just think if you're considering getting one or considering doing these types of gigs, my tip of the day is to get one right now. So Graham says that's one of the classier looking hybrid guitars I've seen, nicer than the Taylor T5. Yeah, I mean, let me know in the chat, who else has tried a hybrid guitar? I tried a Godin hybrid. I didn't like it because the acoustic pickup was just a simple undersaddle. It sounded very quacky. And the electric pickup was in the neck position. I don't want it in the neck position. I want it in the bridge position. So that was a letdown for me. I had high hopes for that guitar, the Godin hybrid guitar. That didn't work out for me. The Taylor T5 I haven't tried. Sounds pretty good in videos, but the thing for me is I'm such a fan of the Cole Clark acoustic sounds that obviously that's why I'm so excited by this guitar, because it's got those sounds in it and it's got these new electric sounds that are tweaked for the design as well. That's why I'm so excited. Okay, so we've got a good point from Prodigal Nation. With TC Helicon, there'll be no support if something will go wrong. Well, TC Helicon will still be under the umbrella of Music Tribe and Behringer. So they will still provide the support for the products. So if something goes wrong with the product, they will still offer to repair it, as far as I know. But I guess what I'm going to say is I'm so dependent on these pedals. I'm not even worried about that. I just want to have enough backups that I can last until someone else brings out a similar product. I'm really that reliant on the pedal for what I do. So I'm just going to buy a few spare Voice Live 3. I know it's extreme, the Voice Live 3 Extreme, to buy a few backups. I really rely on this product. You know, I would rather sell one of the Martins and buy a bunch of those pedals, because I cannot afford to get to a point where I don't have that pedal. So let's say my current one breaks tonight and next week I use the backup and that breaks. I need to have a few of them in case I can't get them repaired or they won't repair them for some reason. That's how, I mean, I understand that you're concerned with that and you might not want to buy one for that reason. I completely understand that. But for me, that's why I need some backups now. I need to have something. And then hopefully if one of them does go wrong, I can use that for spare parts, because I do know a couple of people that could repair them if I had to. They are repairable if you kind of understand electronics and have some spare parts. So yeah, I'm just freaking out because I can't be without it. Mark, how you doing, Mark? Mark Smith, I've just discovered your videos. They look fantastic. Thank you. And you're obviously very knowledgeable. I'm thinking of developing a sax solo act. Very cool. So I don't know what gear you want for that, but let us know. I guess it's similar, right? Could you use the TC Helicon Play acoustic? I guess you could. The main reason I like the TC Helicon Play acoustic is the fact it does the vocal harmonies so well, and the form factor is so good. Lee, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Mark plays bass too. Very cool. Yeah, let me know if you got any questions about the rig that you're building, Mark. Happy to help you out if I can. David says, I have the Godin A6 Ultra. It leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, the problem with the Godin A6 Ultra is that they're just using, as far as I know, an undersaddle pickup that doesn't inspire me that much. And then, like I said, can you still get these? Let me see if I can find a picture of one. I had one of these too years ago. Yeah, you can still get them. Wow, they're $2,000 now. I'll tell you why. And by the way, there's a lot of guitar. I notice there's a lot of guitars around these days. I also notice it's very hard to sell a guitar on the used market these days. So make of that what you will. Here's the Godin. I'll tell you. I mean, first of all, I know a lot of people like this guitar. Not looking to offend anyone, and it certainly has its place. And for certain styles of music, it would work well. Here's the reason it doesn't work for me. First of all, my biggest thing is they put the humbucker in the neck. You see, I really want the humbucker in the bridge down here, like my hybrid has behind me. The problem with the humbucker in the neck is I tried one of these guitars at a band show once, And I tried to use that for like the heavy distorted rock songs, and it just sounded too muffled. I had to put way too much treble on it. When you put the humbucker in the bridge, you get all that natural bite and treble. So I would rather have it there for that sound. And if I want a warmer sound, I can take treble off. It's very hard to add the treble in the neck position. The pickup there is too dull and fat sounding. Now, if you play jazz music, that's ideal because you want that position for jazz. You get a fatter, rounder, warmer tone. But if you want to use this in a band, a rock band, that wasn't ideal for me. So that was the first problem. And then the second problem for me is I'm such a pickup snob now for acoustic guitars that the fact it just had the under the saddle there, just didn't cut it for me. I'm way past that now. And let's be honest, I've just posted my 20-second acoustic guitar pickup review. I've got more to come. A basic under saddle in there was just never going to work for me. So cool idea. It works for some people. If you're playing jazz, particularly on a loud stage, it may work well. But they're the reasons why that guitar didn't work for me. I like the Acoustasonic. The Acoustasonic worked better because it has the back pickup and they're noiseless, which is nice. And they have the modeling, so you can just go straight into the PA and with one output. They kind of simplified the design. So that is a guitar you can just charge up, plug in, and go. And I do like that. I think they made a hybrid for the masses with that guitar. I think they did a good job with the Acoustasonic. Let's see what's happening with the Acoustasonic these days. Yeah, so I like this. This is the original one, the Telly. So you see what I'm saying there? You have the pickup in the bridge position. And it's only a single coil style, but it's noiseless, so it helps. And it has emulation on it, so you can go straight into the PA. Also, the acoustic sounds, it has a body sensor, and it has processing by Fishman to make it sound more natural, more realistic. So this was a big step up for me over the Godin. But I still love the fact that the new hybrid is a thicker body. It's got the 3 analog acoustic pickups, and it's got the 3 analog electric pickups. Yes, it's more hassle to plug it in because you've got to go into some sort of amp simulation. I mean, you can just plug it straight into a PA if you want clean sounds. But this guitar, the Acoustasonic, has those emulations built in. You've got some distortion sounds at your fingertips. With the Cole Clark, you're going to have to plug into some kind of device to get those sounds. So that's what I'm trying to say. Fishman made a guitar here for the masses. And this is the import version they released later on. So for $1,200, it's cheaper than the Cole Clark. It's got the processing. This one runs on a battery, so it's easy to just change the battery, not recharge it. It's a good option. And if you find these used, you can find them now for around $800, which is great. So I do recommend these. I like these ones a lot. And these are different enough to the Cole Clark to not really step on its toes. But the Cole Clark is just a cool thing if you want to have access to those raw pickups and process them yourself with your own pedal and have access to that amazing 3-way system, which was recently upgraded last year as well. I mean, it's just super cool. It really is super cool. And it's shipping with 10 gauge strings now, apparently. It was 11, now they've gone down to 10s. And the neck is also easier to reach as well. I can actually show it to you if you want me to. So the neck is easier to reach around than the regular Cole Clark is as well. So, like I said, you're not going to buy this and replace your Strat and your Taylor stage guitars. That's not the point. You might be able to use it as your regular gigging acoustic. If you're looking for a Cole Clark, you could get this and just take it out and play acoustic, or use it with electric as well. But yeah, this won't replace your Strat, but it will get you very convincing tones that you can use at a solo gig. And I love the idea mostly of, the main thing I like is the idea of kind of making a new sound, if you like. So not trying to replace my Strat, not trying to replace my Cole Clark I already have, but blending in the electric pickup sounds into the acoustic sound to make a new sound. That's really what I'm most excited about. Okay, Mark says, I'm researching PA systems at the moment. Looking at the eVerse 8, very cool. Iggy's been enjoying the EV50Ms. They link up very easy for stereo output. Have not played any gigs yet. I think they've got an Everse 8 for a monitor. So I thought about doing that as well, Iggy. I was thinking about getting two 50Ms. You can link them with one cable, and that then joins the mixers together and the sound together. And then using some like 3 Everse 8s as monitors for the band, which can be running off battery. You'd have a very clean stage. The only reason I decided not to do it is because there's only one auxiliary output, and I was thinking I might want to try using in-ears for the band at some point. So my current QSC mixer and QSC speakers has a few outputs where I can send mixes to the band. You can still do it with the EV50Ms, but there's only one auxiliary output. Whereas on the QSC mixer and regular speakers, you can have several different mixers, and the band can make their own mixers. It's more flexible, it's more versatile, I think. But if you're not going to use in-ears and you don't need that stuff, I would definitely check out the EV50Ms. I love the fact that they link with one network cable. That's it. You get the gig, you power up the 2 towers, you plug one network cable between the 2 towers, and you're ready to go. That's really cool. So if that works for you, I would highly recommend doing that, even though I haven't actually tried that myself. I think that's a really cool idea, at least. And then using Everse 8s as wireless monitors, or at least have one cable running from them, not having to power them up. That's a really nice idea. And then Mark says, I was thinking of the Bose S1 Pro Plus, but the Everse seems a better option. Louder and weatherproof. Well, it's only weatherproof if you put the plastic cover they give you over it. And there are covers you can get for the Bose. It is a bit louder. This is funny. These two products are going to be the new kind of challenge for me for which one to recommend. I've had this with a few products over the years. This is going to happen again with these two products because the Everse 8 is louder. Like I can run it pretty loud and I don't hear it clipping. I can't run the Bose S1 Pro Plus quite loud enough without it clipping. And yet, what you got to remember is the S1 Pro Plus is about 3 pounds lighter, which is substantial if you're carrying this thing around. The Bose sound is more transparent and natural, and I do prefer it, I have to say. And the features are more interesting, like the wireless units. Now, I don't know if you could use those wireless units with your mic, with your saxophone. You might need a condenser mic for that, and it doesn't have phantom power. But for what I do, it's amazing. Like I set up at a show last week. I can't show you the picture right now, but I set up for a show last week, and someone took a picture, and I look back at the picture, and it's incredible because you just have a mic stand with a microphone, a vocal mic, and the wireless transmitter. So there's no cable on the stand. Then the Bose was sat down behind me, so you can't even see the Bose. And then the guitar was plugged in with the wireless transmitter. So there's no cable for the guitar. So at this gig, I wasn't using my Voice Live 3 because I just did a quick set, just like acoustic guitar. But amazing. Looks so neat. Looks so clean. I love that. Now with the Everse, you could take your own wireless transmitters like the Sennheisers with you. But I just love the convenience of the S1 Pro. I love the way it stores them. I love how light it is. I love how small it is. But yeah, it's going to be really tough. Sometimes I get two products where I just don't know which one to recommend. And it's frustrating because I just want to say to you, buy this, right? I want to be able to just say to people, buy this or buy that. But I've come to learn that's not going to happen on my YouTube channel because there's some products that I simply adore that other people do not like at all. And there's some products that other people love that I just don't get. I don't understand why they like them. So I have to be subjective and just offer you different ideas. So do consider the Bose S1 Pro Plus and the Everse 8. I would say if you're able to play your sax through the wireless of the Bose and you've got to travel really light, I think you should probably go for that. But if you haven't got to travel super light and you can't use the wireless feature, then the Everse 8 could be a better option. So make your choice based on what I think. But Yeah, I'm still torn between the two myself. I mean, there's certain gigs where I would want to take the Everse 8 or even a larger PA speaker. There's certain rooms that you just need sheer power. Like I'm going to play a country club this Friday, and I need to take my biggest, loudest QSC 2000 watt speaker because I need to fill that outside space. It can be a big space. I need to fill that space up. Like the Bose or the Everse would not cut it at that gig. I need sheer clean headroom. So I need to take really my K10.2. I really need two of them, but I need to at least take a K10.2 so I can really push it. Because I've actually had one of those speakers start to clip and power down because I pushed it so hard. Because if you think you're playing at a huge outside space with hundreds of people, that's really not enough. You really need a fully blown PA system at that. You're not going to use a battery powered amp at a gig like that. But in a small bar, something like the S1 Pro Plus can be ideal. Pooh Ninja, we meet again. Mark Smith, I've got a Cloud Vocal Elite wireless clip-on mic. Okay, great. So you don't need the wireless then. So yeah, so I think the Everse could be good. Classical crossover. If you don't need battery, you should get a QSC K.2 and a Bose S1 Plus. I agree. A .2 and Bose. Oh, yeah, I agree. I always tell people if you're using something like a Voice Live 3 Extreme, so you've got all your effects and mixing in there, and you don't need battery power, then just get a CP8 or a K8.2 or a K10.2. Get that thing with that power in it. So you've always got that headroom. There's people say they don't need the headroom, they don't play loud. There's always going to be that one gig you show up at that needs that extra push. And it's better to have it than not. And they're not that much heavier. They're not that much more expensive. They are the more pro sounding option. The money you spend on the K8.2 is all for the box and the amplifier. None of the bells and whistles. Like on the S1 Pro Plus, you're paying for the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi and you know what I mean, all the app and all the other features. So if you've got a processor on the ground and you don't need a mixer, just get a great PA speaker that's just high headroom, clean, professional sounding. Just get that. Now, not in every case, because sometimes these tower systems have more of a wide dispersion and you want that for certain reasons. But that's my opinion. Like, it depends what you need. If you need the app, if you need the built-in mixer, then obviously look around at the other units and then see what you need. But they're all a compromise. Like I said, the Everse 8 is definitely louder than the Bose S1 Pro Plus, but I don't like the sound of it as much as the S1 Pro Plus. But then again, you can go in and dial it in through the app on the Everse. The Everse is a great product. I will say, for me, for those battery-powered speakers, the only ones I would consider these days is the S1 Pro Plus or the Everse 8, based on weight, features, and quality. But I still tell people, if you don't need that stuff, just get a great PA system. Get the Evolve 30M, get the Bose Tower, the 16 Pro or the 32 Pro, get a QSC rig, an old school, you have 2 PA speakers and digital mixer. Go that. I still think you can't beat that stuff for certain situations. So you're saying you could get a QSC K8.2 and the Bose S1 Plus. So with the Bose S1 Pro Plus, you could use that as the wireless, and you could send the XLR out of that into one of the K8.2s. You could then send the output of that speaker into the other K8.2 and have a very powerful rig that would do the gig I mentioned earlier outside. It would easily do that, and it would sound incredible, and you'd have that wireless functionality as well. So a hybrid option is also a great idea. And I know it's a lot of money, but if you're doing this full time, I think it's a great idea to have something like the Bose for those small gigs, those rehearsals, a backup, and to use the wireless features and as a monitor, and then run that out into either a tower speaker or the kind of conventional PA speaker type setup. And that's my approach these days. I like the idea of a modular setup. All right, we got like 10 minutes left. If you've got any last questions, let me know. I'm gonna just grab the guitar. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab the guitar and just show it. I'm not gonna play. I don't think I'm gonna play it today. Just going to show you what it's like on the camera, because I know people are obviously interested in it. 1 second.
I need a holiday is what she said to me. I need to get away from you. And as I watched her lying next to me, I wished for...
I always hate when I do that, because then you've got the ugly light switch behind me. But I think I'll go, let me just see what I've got here. I'm going to see if I can go to a close-up, and I'll talk you through it. Close up. Give me 1 second. And make sure it's nicely focused for you. Okay. So this is it. So let me know if you got any questions and thoughts, because I want some help for this review. I want this to be a good review, because I think this is really cool. Now you can see that, right? I'm just focusing in. I do love this camera. I want this to be a good review. I want to explain this. There's some videos about this already, but I think I can show some things on my video. Like I think it'd be cool to compare these magnetic pickups to an actual electric guitar to show how close they get. So once again, let me give you a close-up of this thing. So the sound acoustically is very warm and very pleasant. It's quiet, but again, there's no actual sound hole here. So of course it's going to be quiet. It's also a thin body, right? The body is very thin, which makes it very comfortable. So again, this is not the guitar you buy to take to the bluegrass jam, all right? But that's obviously a good thing, because you'll get more feedback resistance. I believe there's a wood block down the center here to help with that as well, because if you have these pickups with no reinforcement, you're just going to get a load of feedback if you run high gain through them. So obviously, yeah, just make that disclaimer first of all. This is a stage guitar, hybrid stage guitar. So first of all, you have their pickup system on the top. So make sure I keep it in focus. So this is the new system, the newest system they make. You've got bass. It's just incredible. You've got bass, middle, treble, a blend to blend between all under saddle pickup or under saddle, body sensor, or anywhere in between, which is that one there. And then you've got the FC button, which is 2 different voices. I always use that out, which is the newer voicing. And then you've got the mic blend, which can go from 0 to 100%. And it only does the high end. It doesn't do the bass. That's how they prevent it from feeding back. And then you've got the volume control. So that's incredibly versatile there. You've got all that. You can really dial in the acoustic sound that you want. All right. And then you've got the electric side. And let me show you this, because this is really cool. So you've got this switch here. So first of all, you've got your pickups. You've got your single coil, and a humbucker. If you pull the tone out, and I wish it was push-push. With a push-push, you just press it in. With the push-pull, you have to pull it out. But some people prefer that, some people don't. When you pull it out, it makes this basically a single coil sound. So they're more balanced. So very versatile. You've got the 5-way switch. You've got the neck pickup, the neck and the middle pickup, the middle pickup, the humbucker, which is currently in single coil mode, split mode, and that pickup, and then just the neck pickup in single mode. And then you've got the humbucker mode, humbucker, middle, etc. So you've got all those electric combinations, and they come out of this jack here. So that jack would go to your Quad Cortex, your Kemper, your Helix. This jack goes to the PA, all right? And that has the battery in there as well for the acoustic sounds. And then, unlike the other Cole Clarks, this is also a good option because you get the smaller heel as well. Because the Cole Clark neck heels are quite big, so it's easy. You've got easier access here to those higher frets. And then on this particular guitar, you've got the Australian she oak fretboard, but they're using a nice dark variant here. Sometimes like on my other guitar, the she oak fretboard is very it's lighter and it shows the dirt a lot. So I do prefer this. I love this dark she oak as well, and it's also very smooth. It's like almost like ebony. And I believe they tell me these are 10 gauge strings, so they're fairly easy to bend. I mean, for example, the B string, I can bend very easily. The only problem is if you want to bend the G string, we often want to bend the G string here, that's going to be harder to bend because it's obviously a wound string, right? But that's always the case with these hybrids. So yeah, that's it. So what I'm going to do is when I make the demo and review, I'm basically going to plug in the electric sounds into the Quad Cortex. I'm going to record my Stratocaster with this pickup configuration. Obviously, it won't be the same pickups exactly. It'll be those pickups on that guitar. But I'll record some examples and try to record the same example with this system and compare them back to back so you can hear how convincing they got this. And then I'll also do some recordings of the acoustic sounds, and I'll do some of the guitar blended together as well. That's how I'm going to do the demo, and I think you'll be very impressed. Like when you hear the quality of the acoustic and electric sounds you get from this, I think you'll be impressed. And I love the look as well. I think they did a great job with this. It looks new, it looks unique. You know, with the sound hole up here at the top. There's the information through the sound hole. The thinner body, it's very well made. This feels like very high quality. It's got a little bit of weight to it, but of course you've got that center block, I imagine, and also the weight of the electronics in here as well. But you know, I love the grain. I love the fact that all the guitars look so unique and different. It's got the I mean, look at that back. It's so nice. The 3-piece back. It really is something unique and new, and it's exciting. And that's why I wanted to have this. I wanted to show something and try something new, you know, and that this really is a new guitar. And I really wish, I was saying to a friend of mine yesterday, I don't understand why companies in America and other parts of the world, you know, like the big three, like Martin, Taylor, Gibson, why are they not doing something like this? You know, do something new and fresh, and like this is for the stage. I gotta admit, lately I'm less and less into it. I'm still doing acoustic guitar pickup reviews. I'm less and less into it. I've kind of made a few decisions about gear that I'll be sharing over the next few weeks and months. But one of the things I've decided is just to keep a couple of acoustic guitars as acoustic guitars. Whether you think it changes the sound if you install any sort of electronics or adds weight or whatever, I go between those thoughts daily. But I've just decided, like, why not just have a couple of guitars that sound really great acoustic and just use them as acoustics. Have a guitar like this, or my Cole Clark that I take out to gigs and I really play and really enjoy. Have something like this for experimenting with at home and for live streaming. And then that's it. You know, have different tools for different jobs. And I think that's really cool. For me, it works better, I think, rather than trying to make one guitar do everything. I don't think that hasn't really paid off for me so far. But yeah, it really is. I really can't believe the look of this thing. I'll see if I show you the rest of it. There's the headstock. We've got the gold tuners. I love again, the fretboard is a lovely dark she oak. The wood grain is amazing. It feels so, like the quality just really shines out of this thing. And I have to say, again, I don't be too negative, but a lot of guitars I'm seeing lately, I don't feel like I'm getting the value from them. But with this, I really do. You know, it's made in Australia. They have to import it to America. It's got all electrics in it. It's got custom electrics that are balanced, evenly balanced. It's got the innovative 3-way pickup system. It's incredibly well made. It feels great. The neck is super smooth. They're just killing it. And I really wish that Cole Clark would get more exposure in other places. So many people write them off. So many people don't try them. So many people can't try them because they're not around. But I mean, let me know what you think in the chat. I think this thing looks incredible, and they've just really nailed it. There's not much more they could do. I would say it'd be cool if they could find a way to make the pickups noiseless. But then again, some people don't want that. But I was thinking maybe to install something like a dummy coil to make the pickups noiseless, because I do get noise, and because there's no shielding in the guitar, you're going to get a bit more buzz than you would normally get from a Stratocaster. But if that's the only thing I can really think of. Stainless steel frets would be nice. I do wish they used stainless steel frets, but that's really it. I mean, otherwise, I just think they've absolutely killed it with this thing. And again, I'm so happy that they're doing something new and unique. Rexomatic says price range. You're looking at, I mean, once you've imported it here, once they've imported it here and to the dealers here, you're looking at just over $3,000. And you can get, like I said, you can get different pickup configurations and things. But you know, I was looking on Sweetwater the other day. A basic standard series Martin now is around $3,500 plus tax. So with this one, you're looking about the same price. And I think there's a lot more value in it. I mean, look at the technology here. Like I said, with these pickups, in case you didn't hear me earlier, Rex, they're actually taking these pickups and matching them to the strings so they're evenly balanced. So they're getting these pickups, they're making sure they're balanced, they're constructing this, they're putting their acoustic system. The acoustic system, again, uses 3 elements to the pickup system. There's so much gone into this and so much R&D gone into it, and the guitar is just made so well. So like I said, is it for everybody? No, of course not. Some people look at this and say, what's that? I just want a Martin, or I just want a Taylor, whatever. I get that. But if you want something different, then, I mean, it's just awesome. I also love the standard series too. Remember, this body here, this is the thin line Cole Clark. Okay? So if you want a stage guitar that's particularly comfortable, then you can get this without the electronic. Well, you can get this with just the humbucker. You can get this with no electronic. So the humbucker one would still have the sound hole, the regular sound hole, and the humbucker. You can also get this with no magnetic pickups and just the sound hole. So then you've got a thin line guitar for your gigs. And then you can get one of these like mine that I use for my regular gigs, which is the Angel body, which is a thicker body with just the acoustic pickups. And the bigger body acoustics do have a better plugged-in sound. I've tested them. The Dreadnought size is slightly better than the Angel size, and the Angel size is slightly better than it seems to me, than the thin line, but only slightly, and you'll get a more comfortable guitar at the end of the day. But I plugged this in acoustically, it sounds great. And remember, this one has the 10 gauge strings as well, so I have to factor that in as well. On the Dreadnought, you might be using 13 gauge. This is only using 10 gauge strings, but it still has a nice fat sound to it for the acoustic sounds. So I really like it. And I think it looks really cool. And again, I just like that they're doing something new. So watch out this week. If you're new here, subscribe and ring the bell. I'm gonna demo this, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna compare it to my Angel guitar, and I'm gonna compare it to my one of my Strats, to show you how convincing the electric sounds are, and also show you what the sounds sound like together. It's kind of hard to review a hybrid because, again, you know, they can be pretty polarizing to people, but I think they did a good job with it. David says, I heard somewhere the Martins are going up another 5%. Well, they did, but only certain models. Because here's the thing, and perhaps we'll finish with this. A few months ago, I was looking at, because I love Martin and Fender guitars and standard series guitars. And I was looking at them a few months ago, and they were always sold out. Back order, back order, back order, back order, back order, right? Everything. Like, for example, if I would search for an OM28 a few months ago, they would all be sold out all the time. And what I noticed was that now they always have, well, the other day there was 4 of every like standard series almost. But now, even today, look, there's 2 guitars, right? And they look very different. That's a cool one. That's £3. That's under £4, this one. And I've noticed a few other changes lately as well, like this font. You see this font here? They've changed the font of the text inside the guitar. Anyway, that's for another video. But I noticed that there's now loads of standard series guitars in stock, right? The sales have definitely slowed, not declined, but slowed down. They have. Look at this. Look, there's 4 HD. So 6 months ago, they had no HD 28s. Now they have 4 of them. All right. So I noticed that, and I heard there'd be a price increase, but I think because these guitars are so in stock now around the world, from what I can see, they've remained at the price, which has already gone up a few times over the last few years anyway. So the HD28 is still 3399. Okay. But what they did is they put up the Modern Deluxe series costs and a few others, like the CEO 7 has gone up by a couple $100. That was once the kind of hidden deal of Martin, and now it's been the price has been raised. But yeah, the Modern Deluxe OM28E is now $4999. That's gone up by I believe $200, and as you can see, back ordered, so they have in fact sold out of those. So what do you think about that? Obviously, the Modern Deluxe series has always been more money than the standard series. It has more upgrades to it, but prices now are starting to get pretty darn high, aren't they? And that's what I was saying about the thing with the Cole Clark. I mean, $3,500 is a lot of money, but when you think about what you're getting in this instrument, all the features, all the pickups, all the R&D, I think it's justified, and the quality is excellent. But you know, $4,399 for a OM28 Modern Deluxe. That's a lot of money. $4,399. No electronics, no pickup. That's a lot of money. So they did go up in price, and the standard series remained their current price. So I guess this stuff is all supply and demand, right? And I guess if you're lucky enough to have bought one of these guitars in 2018, then there's a good thing because your guitar's now worth more money. So I guess you can look at it like that and look on the bright side like that. But if you're buying a guitar new today, then the prices are definitely up there with everyone. So, Miss Lee, how you doing? It's Miss Lee's in Australia. Angel 2. I love the Angel 2 as well. My Angel 2 has been my go-to gigging guitar for the last 12 months. This was a bit of a impulse buy, and we'll see how much I use it, and then end up using all the features of it. But I do think it's cool. And you know what? I was thinking even if I just use this one at home, keep the Angel to gig with because I really play it hard. I've really started to wear the frets out already. I gig that thing so hard. So I was thinking with this, it might be fun to do some more live stream concerts again because it's quieter. The neighbors won't hear it as loudly. It's got the electric pickups, the acoustic pickups. It's easier to play. I was thinking about maybe doing some live streams with this and then using this at home when I do my practice and things like that because it's got the easier strings, the 10-gauge strings on it. So I really love it. I really do love it. I'm very happy with my purchase. I think it's awesome. And I look forward to exploring it more in some videos, and hopefully you'll share your thoughts as you hear my videos. Because again, there are some videos about this guitar, but not that many, so I'm looking to go quite deep into it and to show what I can do. T says, apparently Australian guitars are able to handle humidity way better. Well, that's what I'm saying with this wood. This is the Australian blackwood. It's a thicker, stiffer wood. So whereas your Martin Sitka top may crack, this one is less likely to crack. Now, it doesn't mean it won't crack, because any wood can dry out and crack. But the reason they use this for the touring stage guitars, this Australian blackwood, is that it is stiffer, it will resonate less, it will feed back less, it will be more resistant to the elements and things like that. Oh, great. Miss Lee said, I purchased the Pro Plus a couple of days ago. Can't wait to get it up and running, not forgetting to do the update, of course. Yeah, definitely do the update immediately, Miss Lee. David says, I miss your live streams. Yeah, I'm thinking about doing some. But I got to figure out the cameras again. I got to figure out the sound and everything. But I'm thinking about doing the occasional concert, get back to the music again, get away from all this gear stuff. I'll actually not get away from it at all. I've got so many. I just did the video last night. If you haven't seen that, did the video of the Bradley Clark pickup. I had that from months ago, so I put that up yesterday. Finished editing it, put it up. So I'm planning on doing some reviews of other stuff. I'm still surrounded by stuff that I will be selling, and The plan is to get those videos to get me over 15,000 subscribers, get the channel sort of rolling a bit more, and then go back to doing more live streams, more, you know, more practical stuff, I guess is the word. Doctor says, I want to get stainless steel frets on the first 5 frets of my acoustic. Yes, I agree. My Cole Clark that I gig with has a massive dent in the fret here. So what they should do is just put stainless steel frets on the first 5. You're absolutely right. The first 5 frets should be stainless steel on the acoustics, because that's where we really strum those open chords all the time. That'd be a great compromise. That's exactly what happens. The upper frets, although I do play them, the upper frets are usually fine. And I get all the way, because if you think about it, you're always strumming here all the time. That's where you get those dents in the first 3 frets. That would be a really cool idea. I wish Rain Song, Cole Clark, I wish everyone would just use stainless steel frets, honestly, or at least Evo frets. Rex says, speaking of live streams, could you use a refresher on equipment to use for live stream show, vocal and guitar? You know what I'm thinking about doing for these live streams I'm talking about, the concerts again? I'm thinking, again, Voice Live 3 Extreme. I'm thinking about using that, because what you can do is I can plug that straight in with USB and use that as the interface. So just to keep things really simple, I can plug the Voice Live 3 Extreme straight into the computer. Everything that I'm playing through that is what you'll hear on the stream, apart from if I use the click track. You won't hear that, so that's cool. And I don't have to worry about the interface and all that stuff. I can just play through that as if I'm playing at a gig, and it will go straight out into the internet, and I'll just use a regular microphone and play this guitar and do some looping and do some covers. So that's what I'm thinking about doing. Have the 2 cameras, get the foot controller working again. I've got a MIDI pedal to do that. Have some nice graphics. Just make the room a little bit, get rid of some stuff out of this room, make it a bit more spacious, and just sit here and just play some songs through the pedal. I don't know. We'll see. At least do it now and again for special occasions. And again, that's why I love the Voice Live 3 Extreme, because I can plug that straight into the computer and I can go live. Don't even need my interface for that. It's amazing. Am I selling any TC Electronic or Peterson clip-on tuners? So I use the Peterson clip-on tuners. I'm not selling any. I bought a few of those the other week, because sometimes I'll be playing and I can't find my G7th capo or my Peterson tuner. And again, I rely on those things. So I bought a few more the other week just to always have one at hand. Having said that, yes, I do. Look, it's right here. This is exactly why I did it. So my tuner is always here, ready to go. I've got one in my acoustic gig bag, one in my cable bag, one in my electric bag, one in here, one in my string change kit. And the reason is, whenever I sit down, I just want to have that ready to go. And the same with the capo. Nothing worse than getting to a gig and you don't have your capo with you. So I now have a G7 capo in my acoustic bag, my electric bag, my cable bag, this room, and my string changing box. Just, the worst thing you can ever do is sit down and learn a song with a capo, leave it out of your gig bag, go to a gig where you're meant to be performing at a wedding or something with that capo for that song, and you don't have the capo. It's impossible. If you're capoed up on the 7th fret and you left it at home, what are you going to do? You can do the song, but it's not the same. So there we go. That's why I did it. Sometimes I hear myself talking and I think I sound like I'm just saying this is all too extreme. This is all too frivolous, right? All this stuff. But these are practical things. Like when you're a full-time musician, or even if you're just doing it for fun, I would, like I said earlier, I would rather sell a guitar and buy a bunch of nice tuners and capos and picks and strings and always be prepared for a gig than have that extra guitar. Now, of course, that's not always an option, but you get my point. Priorities are important. It's important to have the tools for the job. So for me, that's why I'm saying I want more of these Voice Live 3 Extremes, because I want that tool for my job. I want these tuners for my job. I want these capos for my job. I want the S1 Pro Plus for my job. I want my PA system for my job. This stuff is important to me. And then some things are not important. Some things are additional. Like again, I didn't need this. I have a Cole Clark that I'm using. It's awesome. But this was an optional. Now, who knows? Maybe this will end up being the thing that makes me stand out and gets me more gigs. Maybe this will be that thing. You never know. But there's some gear is just essential. A great tuner, a great capo, great picks, great strings. These things are really important to have, and you shouldn't not have them, I believe. If you know, because well, if you're the sort of person that can use a capo and then put it straight back in your guitar case for the gig, then more to you. That's great. I that's not me. So Rex, that's really an open-ended question. There's so many ways to do it. Right now I'm using an audio interface. That's the best way to do it. I love the Apollo stuff. You don't need that, but it's a nice unit. Ideally, if you've got something like a vocal processor you use for your gigs, if it can also be used as an audio interface, that's really cool as well. And that's what I'm planning on doing. I might change my mind. That's what I plan on doing. All in favor of Aaron putting stainless steel frets on one of his acoustics. Well, I probably will. When I've settled on my main gigging guitar that I just cannot be without, I would, and the frets wore out, I would then have Sweetwater put stainless steel frets on it. I think. But then they say it can kill the strings quicker. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't get that problem with most guitars because I don't play them enough to get that wear. But on a gigging guitar that I'm playing 3 hours every night of the week, that's the problem. So you either replace that guitar every 3 years, or you have the frets redone every 2 years, or you have stainless steel frets put on it. So that's still something that I'm deciding. They don't sell the coin battery tuners in Australia. Why not? You can't. So can you not buy the Peterson Strobo Clip tuner in Australia? This one? This is my favorite. This is awesome. Yeah. Miss Lee, I'm very jealous of you because you can just go down to your local guitar store, I'm pretty sure, and see like 10 of these hanging on the wall. Do you know how rare this guitar is in America and England right now? I bet there's like 10 of these. There's probably 5 of these in America and 5 of these in England. They're just, but then I see pictures of music stores in Australia and they have all these Cole Clarks on the wall. And I get so jealous because I'd love to go in that store and just sit and play all these Cole Clarks and really see what the differences are and what I like and what I don't. There's just so few dealers. And Groon are a dealer. They've currently got 2 Cole Clarks. Pitbull Audio are a great guitar store, music store. They have a few right now. No one has like a big stock of these Cole Clarks. I'm really hoping that Sweetwater might pick them up eventually. The main reason is that Cole Clark are not shipping the guitars right now. It's not that the dealers don't want to sell them. It's that there's not enough inventory being made, I think. With Amazon Prime Day coming up, I might finally get around to getting headphones. What do you recommend just for listening to YouTube music? I know it's subjective. Oh, wow, Miss Lee, I didn't know that. So that's why I see a lot of tuners now that are rechargeable as well. Interesting. Okay. Those little batteries, little watch batteries, right? T, let me answer your question. These are good headphones. I do use these for playing the guitar. They're very comfortable. Obviously, if you don't need a big microphone, it's probably pointless. But I do like this headset. And if you're thinking about doing any kind of live streaming or you need it for work, it's very cool to have. I love the Shores. They're 535 Shores for in-ears. They're very comfortable and they sound great. And you can use them for music performance or listening to music. They're very accurate. They're very, well, I can't scientifically say that, but they're very nice sounding in my opinion. So the Shure SE535, I have 2 pairs of those, and I use those when I use in-ears at gigs. I used to use those as well for, I would use them now for certain live streams. Like when I'm doing the concert, I would wear those, not this. I don't really have any opinion apart from that. If you're an Apple user, I might even look at something like the AirPod Pros, the big over-ear ones. They're kind of nice, but if you don't like the idea of that, then I don't know. I use these because they sound great and they've got this great microphone. I mean, this is so awesome today because I'm sitting here talking to you with the AC on full blast. In the past, I used to have a big microphone up here in the old days, so the lockdown days, and I couldn't have the AC on because it would pick up all that noise, even with the noise gate. The reason, I know this headset looks a bit funny, but the reason I wear it is that the mic is right here and it's a dynamic microphone, so I can run a fan, I can run the AC I can have someone vacuuming upstairs and you won't hear any of that. You might hear it if you listen. I don't think you even can hear it, but it's so much better for me. And I can also move around and the sound never changes because the mic is static, right? The mic is moving with me. It's not static, sorry. So I love this. So I would consider this maybe just something like this. I don't know. I can't really tell you. But if you're looking for in-ear monitors, I do recommend the Shure 535s. That's what I use. I really like those a lot. Divided by time. How you doing? We were just showing off my new guitar day. I'm trying to think what thumbnail to put for this guitar. I think I'm going to put something like, I bought a weird guitar, or this is the world's weird. I mean, it's not the world's weirdest guitar, is it? But I was going to do something clickbaity. I'm trying to get more clickbaity than now. I'm going to put something like, I bought the weirdest acoustic electric guitar, something like that. And then have a picture like this. I don't know. Something like that. Just to get people to click on it. Just to get some views. And then, like I said, give a full demo of the guitar. There's not much to say about it, right? If you look at it, you see what it's all about. But I want to show off what those electrics, all the pickups sound like. Isn't it funny that I went from looking for the ultimate low impact pickup for an acoustic guitar to getting a guitar with 3 acoustic guitar pickups and 3 electric guitar pickups in one guitar? Divided by Time Studio says, would we buy one $9,000 guitar or 3 $3,000 guitars? Well, I've done it. I've bought expensive guitars. The problem for me is sometimes, you buy a really expensive guitar thinking that'll be it. It'll be so incredible that it'll be the one and I won't buy anything else. And that doesn't always happen. In fact, that doesn't happen for me. Because even those super expensive guitars cannot satisfy you for some reason. Sometimes it's something like build quality. Sometimes it's something like it's just not what was the right instrument for you. That happened with me with the Martin SC, the Custom Shop SC guitar, the SC Custom Shop 13. The pickup wasn't what I was looking for. The acoustic sound wasn't blowing me away. So that's and the build quality wasn't there for me. So that's why that didn't work for me. You would assume that if you spent $9,000 on a guitar, it would just be incredible. No complaints about anything. But that doesn't always happen. Sometimes you'll buy a custom shop or a very expensive guitar and it's just not what you don't connect with it. You decide it's not what you were looking for. And then there are some standard series guitars that you buy and they just really inspire you. They're great. Or even budget guitars, they're just great. So I think for my answer, and we'll see what people say in the chat, my answer to your question would be 3 $3,000 guitars. And that's kind of what I've done. I've now got a couple of Strats that I love that work for me. And I've got a stage guitar that works for me. And I've got a couple of Martins that work for me. And that's probably what I'm going to end up keeping, to be honest. Those kind of, the guitars like the Sirs and the Custom Shops and those guitars where you think, well, I'm going to buy that and that'll be the end of it because that's going to be amazing. They're not always, but they're often a letdown for me. And then if there is a slight problem with them, it seems more frustrating because it's like, well, I spent all this money. Why is there this problem with it? Why is there glue inside? Why is the tuner not working? It almost makes it more disappointing. And let's face it, $3,000 is still a lot of money to spend on a guitar, and it should be good for that money, right? But I do see a lot of guitars now getting up there to 10 grand. Like I was looking at a Custom Shop Martin the other day on Pitbull Audio. That's over $10,000, and it doesn't have like stainless steel frets. It doesn't have a pickup. It doesn't have the roasting and everything. It doesn't have all that. It's just a very nice OM 41 style with Madagascar rosewood, which is fair enough. That's an expensive wood, and Euro spruce, fair enough. These are more expensive woods, but 10 grand and you can't plug it in. I mean, if I bought that thing would have to just, when I strum the open E chord, that thing would have to just blow my mind. And I don't think it would, because I think you'd end up thinking, well, I could have bought a car for that money. So it just adds all this extra pressure onto the guitar. Whereas something like this, at just over $3,000, It's like, well, they made it in Australia. They developed a new system. They shipped it to America. It's got all these pickups in it. It's got all these pickups in it. It's really well made. The construction's awesome. You know, I straight away it just seems like a better deal, doesn't it? To me, anyway. That's my answer. No one else said anything. Dr. McFarlane bought a Kiesel, the telly you just got a few weeks ago. Not a telly guy. Yeah, I will end on this negative point. It's really, stuff is not selling right now unless you give it away. The time to sell gear was definitely 12 months ago, as I showed you on Sweetwater just now with all the guitars that are currently in stock. Stuff is selling, but not like it was. I mean, that was unrealistic. 12 months ago, stuff was just selling at more than cost instantly. It was crazy. Looking back, that was, we all knew that was a crazy time for people buying guitars, but that was insane. I can't see that happening again for a while. And of course, I feel like now a lot of people that were buying the stuff have the stuff and don't need to buy any more of it. So we'll see what happens with the market, but I'm going to try some different things. Like Reverb is awesome, but I'm going to try the Sweetwater used and some other places to sell as well. Anyway, I'm going to wrap things up. I've been here for an hour and a half. So do me a favor. If you're new here, please subscribe, ring the bell. I'm almost at 15,000 and I want to get there as soon as I can. I've got the bug again for this YouTube stuff. I'm really enjoying it again. So please subscribe, ring the bell. Please share this with your friends if they like acoustic guitars and this kind of thing. And if you didn't see my video yesterday, please watch it. It's it's the Brad Clark, who was part of Cole Clark, obviously. Supernatural pickup. I was very happy with the way it sounded in the video. I was very happy with the review at the end of the day. Please check that out and give it a thumbs up. Please give this stream a thumbs up. It all helps me out. If you're going to buy anything, use my affiliate links. I've got affiliate links with Reverb, Amazon, Sweetwater, and Thomann. They're all in the description of the videos. Really appreciate it. And look out for videos coming. I've got lots of stuff coming in videos that I just simply haven't shown yet that I'll be selling. I've got some amp videos coming. I've got lots of guitar videos coming. I've got more. I'm going to do more pickups. I don't tell you what it is because I don't want to have the pressure on myself to have to do things, but I do have some really cool stuff. I've got a really cool pedal for solo players, solo acoustic players that I need to get done soon. So good stuff is coming. Please subscribe and ring the bell. And maybe if the numbers go up a little bit, I'll do some more live concerts if people want that as well. I think it's important to keep the music at the forefront of all this stuff. So yes, I want to say, oh, hang on, let me just go through these last few chats here. I was looking to trade in Ultra Telly. The store said $900, so I kept it. Exactly, yeah. Exactly. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for moderating again. No trolls lately, but don't say that too loud or we get trolls in here. David, that's right. Have a safe 4th, everyone. July 4th, Independence Day is tomorrow. If you've got the day off, enjoy it. And I look forward to seeing you during the week. I'll have some videos up, so subscribe, ring the bell, turn on notifications. I'll be back here next Monday for more Q&A. Please bring your questions here, your thoughts here, so we can talk about it together. And look out for my videos. I've got some interesting things coming very soon. So I'm going to go away and start working on the demo of this because I do feel bad. And someone's going to say tonight in the comments, you didn't even play the guitar. But like I said, I don't want the pressure today of having to plug it all in, set it all up, dial it all in live. I don't want to do that. It's too much pressure. Not to say it doesn't sound great. It does. I've done some demos already privately. But I just want to dial it in a bit more before I make the video. So watch out for that video. I think you're going to be impressed. Hey, maybe you won't be, but let me know in the comments below as always if you are or not. But you will see that very, very soon. All right, so take care and be well. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.